The Premier says she'll order Indian manufacturer Bombardier to use a Queensland plant to fix problems with dozens of new trains. Anastasia Palaszczuk travelled to Maryborough today, where she pledged $150 million to modify the beleaguered rolling stock fleet by a local manufacturing firm. Transport also featured heavily in the LNP's campaign today, announcing $100 million will be spent upgrading exits on the M1. Political reporter Josh Bavis reports.
For a few hours this morning, the One Nation roadshow came to a halt north of Rockhampton. But after some running repairs on the Battler bus, Pauline Hanson was on her way to Mackay.
This is what it's about, Aussies stopping and helping other Aussies on the side of the road. It's good.
Bill Shorten arrived in Maryborough to help out a Labor mate.
Heard you had an election on. I'll have a come see
how are you?
It was the federal opposition leader's first foray into the election campaign, targeting a seat held by Labor with the narrowest of margins, 1%.
Mum says you're the best.
No surprises then that Labor brought in the big guns. There were more friendly faces at the Downer manufacturing plant, chosen by the Premier to fix Queensland's beleaguered new generation rolling stock.
Tim Nicholls wanted trains built in Mumbai. I will build trains in Maryborough. I will build trains in Maryborough.
The trains currently don't meet Australian disability standards, so Labor's plan is to force the manufacturer to fix them here.
This is more than $100 million to this facility in terms of rectification works.
Electorally, this seat is on a knife edge. It's a city which in its glory days was at the centre of rail and shipbuilding. Labor's announcement shoring up jobs for another 2 years. But the decision and Labor's campaign material has upset the Indian-Australia Exchange Forum.
The community feels that we have been singled out or being targeted against with such derogatory words, the words, very strong languages that's being used there.
The opposition leader also accuses Labor of focusing too much on the Indian workmanship.
It certainly seems to be the case that the Labor Party seems to be suggesting that there's something wrong with the manufacturing taking place in India.
But the LNP also had some explaining to do after sending voters a letter accusing minority groups of attacking Australian values.
We're sick of these minority groups that are going around telling us how to think.
Whether or not he wins the election, Tim Nicholls will at least have some holiday slides to show from the campaign. Scuba diving yesterday at the Cairns Aquarium, visiting a sick koala at Currumbin Wildlife Hospital today, and a wild roller coaster ride at a Gold Coast theme park. The LNP also wants the ride to work to be faster for motorists on the M1. It's promising $100 million to upgrade 4 exits.
Unfortunately, all too often, for people here on the northern Gold Coast, they're stuck in traffic.
A wild ride for everyone on day 12 of the campaign. Josh Bavis, ABC News, Maryborough.